Created with free version for non-commercial use.
See what that includes. So if we look at this, this object here, you can see we can get things like the host, which is the in this case the loopback address and the port, the host name, which is just the address. We can get just the port. We can get the path name, which is just slash. We can get the href, the origin. A lot of these things are the same. The protocol, which is HTTP. We have some methods like reload and replace. We can redirect with the location object. We can get query strings with search. So there's quite a bit here. Now I want to just show you that we can print out some of these things or use them if we want. So let's say we wanted the host name. We could say window location host name and save, and you can see, let me just fix this, and you can see we'll get our address here. And if you want a server with a domain name, it would show the domain name here. Okay, we can get things like the port. Whoops. So if we go ahead and show the port number, which should be 5500 in my case. Another thing we could do is href, which will give us everything. It'll give us the protocol. You can see it gives us the protocol. It gives us the host name and the port. All right, another cool thing we can get is the search parameters. So if we say .search, we're not going to have anything here by default, but if we go up here and add a question mark and let's say ID equals 1, then that's what's going to show in .search. It's going to show the query string. So if we were to do ampersand, I will say ampersand name. Actually, I'll just go ahead and do that. So we have name equals Brad and member equals standard. All right, so later on what I want to do, not in this video, but later on, I'd like to do an exercise where we actually extract these values from the URL and put them into our script. And you can imagine some of the cool things that you could do with that. So you could have links that people click on, or get forms that people submit that will give you these parameters, and then you can do cool things with them. All right, so that is search. Now we can also do certain things with the location object like redirect. So if we wanted to redirect, we could say window.location, and we could take that href value. Okay, remember we showed what it was, but we can also set it. So let's say HTTP, and we'll say google.com, and save. And now when it reloads, we get redirected to Google. All right, and usually this would be within your website, but you can also do external URLs. All right, another thing we can do is reload the page. So if we say window.location.reload. Now, if I save this and we go to our site, which is 127 loopback address 5500, it's gonna keep reloading. You'll see that it keeps stuttering because it's just constantly reloading, which obviously isn't very helpful. But if you did need to reload the page, you could use that. So I'm just going to comment that out. Let's also comment out the redirect. Oh. All right, so you can use the location object to redirect and reload the page. But reload you would use in some kind of function. You wouldn't just put it right in the global scope so that it keeps reloading. All right, so now what I want to do is take a look at the history object. So we'll go down here, let's say history object. Actually, I'll put that in lowercase. Now, history is just that. You can get your browsing history. So first thing we'll look at is, let's say, window.history.go. All right, and this will actually bring us back to wherever we came from, and we can do -1 to go back to the site before this, -2 to go before that. So what I'm going to do is just browse to a couple sites. So let's go to google.com, let's go to facebook.com, we'll go to Twitter, and then we'll go back to our site. Okay, so if I go window.history.go and then pass in here, let's say -1, and save and reload, it's going to go to Twitter. If I change it to -2, save, and then we go back to our site, and you can see it takes us to Facebook. Alright, so I'm going to just comment this out. Oops. And we'll go back. Alright, so we can also check out the history length. If we were to, actually we'll put it in the val, we'll say window.history.length and save, and you can see we have 6. So basically we have 6 sites behind us. So the last thing I want to look at is the navigator object. Alright, now the navigator object has to do with the actual browser, not the window or the environment, but the browser itself. So Chrome, Firefox. Now it's called Navigator because it's actually named after the old Netscape Navigator browser. Alright, so there's quite a few things that we can take a look at here. So first of all, let's just put inside of our val variable window.navigator and save. And if we take a look here at this object, you can see we have quite a few things available. So we have the app code name, app name. Now app name is always going to be Netscape unless you're using IE, then it will be IE. God forbid, hopefully you're not using IE. The app version, basically this is either going to be 4.0 or 5.0. This isn't the version of Chrome. Actually, you know what? It'd probably be easier if we just print some of this stuff out so I can show you. But real quick, just to look, you can see geolocation is actually part of the navigator object. What else? The user agent. Okay, so that we can get the type of browser we're using from this. Now notice it does say Mozilla, it says Safari, it says Chrome, but it does give us the correct version. I am using 6.1 point whatever. Let's see, storage, so navigator storage manager, some other stuff here. You can see the vendor of the browser is Google Inc. Platform, so you can get the user's operating system, which is if it's on Windows, it'll be Win32. I believe if you're on a Mac, it'll be Darwin. All right, so let's look at some of this stuff. We'll put it in the val here. So if we say window.navigator.appname, then again, that's just going to give us Netscape unless we're on IE. All right, we can also get the version. So if we just go ahead and I'll just copy that down, and we can say app version, which will give us 5.0. Now this has to do with specifying 4th and 5th generation browsers. All right, and then you can see down here it gives us the version of Chrome. So if you want to actually use this to extract someone's version of their browser, you're going to have to do a little bit of magic and use some regular expressions and kind of filter through this. All right, same thing with user agent and anything else. So actually, let's take a look at user agent. That should give us pretty much the same thing. So that's going to be navigator.user agent, and we'll save. And you can see it looks very similar. It has the generation 5.0, and then it has the different versions here. All right, let's see what else can we look at. So we can get the operating system or the platform, and we can get that with navigator.platform, and that gives us Win32. So you could do, if window navigator platform equals Win32, then do something on Windows. If it equals Darwin, then do something on Mac, and then I forget what it is for Linux. So we can also look at the vendor. So if we go ahead and do vendor, that will give us Google Inc. We can also get the language. We can get the language of the browser, which of course in my case is en-us. And there's some other stuff too, but it's not really worth going through. But I just wanted to show you that these are part of the window object. We will probably use some of this stuff later on, especially like redirecting with location and stuff like that. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. In the next section, we're going to start getting into the DOM. Okay, so we're going to get into the document object model and start to look at nodes, different elements, how to select elements, how to change content, how to change styles, how to basically work within the UI, change the UI, add events, all kinds of stuff like that. All right, so thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next section.
Created with free version for non-commercial use.